Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AMIRUL HAFIZ binti MUHAMAD NUZUL from RBA 2403A. Today, I will do my ELC590 Persuasive speech. Love yourself. Have you ever heard that phrase? That kind of inspirational message makes us want to change our lives. However, this is easier said than done. We all go through hard times in our lives, but when you start to think you deserve them, it can damage your mental health and with it your self-esteem. The Psychosocial Working Group defines self-esteem as the individual's sense of their value or the attitude towards the self that can be favorable or unfavorable. Do you accept yourself as you are or do you judge yourself? So today, I want to persuade everyone here to improve their self-esteem. Having self-esteem issues can be detrimental to your health and negatively affect your personal and professional relationships. There are many reasons why you may have low self-esteem. Your genes, how and where you grew up, and other life circumstances all play a role. A major factor of low self-esteem, however, comes from your own mental state. Your inner voice or the thoughts in your head can be constantly telling you that you are not good enough or worth anything. Even if there is evidence to the contrary, negative thinking in general is linked to low self-worth and low self-esteem. According to the Dr. Joe Rubino, approximately 85% of people worldwide have issues with self-esteem. Unfortunately, issues of low self-esteem are linked to a number of significant problems with mental health. Next is academic challenges. Those with history of academic challenge are at risk to suffer from low self-esteem. Feeling incapable of understanding what was happening in the classroom can be paralyzing for a child or teen. As a student falls further behind without anyone noticing or intervening, feelings of stupidity and inadequacy become deeply internalized. As a child or adult, a challenged learner can easily become preoccupied with and excessively doubt their own intelligence and ability to learn, causing them to feel terribly self-conscious about sharing thoughts and opinions. The shame of feeling as if you aren't good enough can be difficult to shake even after you learn ways to accommodate academic difficulties. So what's the solution? There are a number of ways in which you can improve your self-esteem. First, identify and challenge your negative beliefs. The first step is to identify and then challenge your negative beliefs about yourself. Notice your thoughts about yourself. For example, you might find yourself thinking, I'm not clever enough to do that, or I have no friends. When you do, look for evidence that contradicts those statements. Write down both statements and evidence and keep looking back at it to remind yourself that your negative beliefs about yourself are not true. Next, identify the positive about yourself. It is also a good idea to write down positive things about yourself, such as being good at sport or nice things that people have said about you. When you start to feel low, look back at these things and remind yourself that there is plenty of good about you. In general, positive internal dialogue is a big part of improving your self-esteem. If you catch yourself saying things like, I'm not good enough or I'm a failure, you can start to things around by saying, I can beat this and I can become more confident by viewing myself in a more positive way. To begin with, you will catch yourself falling back into old negative habits, but with regular effort, you can start to feel more positive and build your self-esteem as well. Then, take on challenge. People with low self-esteem often avoid challenging and difficult situations. One way to improve your self-esteem can actually be to take on a challenge. This doesn't mean that you need to do everything yourself. Part of the challenge might be to seek help when you need it. But be prepared to try something that you know will be difficult to achieve. By succeeding, you show yourself that you can achieve. This challenges your negative beliefs and will therefore improve your self-esteem. Your self-esteem can be improved if you're practicing these several ways. According to the American Psychological Association, having high self-esteem is key to positive mental health and well-being. High self-esteem matters because it helps you develop coping skill, handle adversity, and put the negative into perspective. If you have a higher self-concept, you also don't tend to put undue focus, blame, self-doubt, hopelessness, or weight on the parts you aren't happy about. You are also better able to cope with stress, anxiety, and pressure, whether from school, work, home, or peers. Instead, rather than feeling hopeless, stuck, or unworthy due to any perceived failings, a person with high self-esteem is more likely to look for what they can change or improve upon than to feel like a failure or hopeless. When you have a high self-esteem, you are better able to shake off unfavorable events and the negative judgment or moods of others that may be directed your way. Conversely, when you have lower self-concept, you are more likely to take criticism or rejection personally and to assume someone else's problems are about you. This combination can make people with low self-esteem more reactive to day-to-day circumstance and personal interactions. Those with lower self-esteem are also less likely to keep their emotions in check, cope well with challenges, and look at life from a healthy perspective. Often low self-esteem means small things become blown up into bigger issues that can feel insurmountable, further ratcheting down self-regard. In conclusion, high self-esteem is key to life satisfaction. For some, this frame of mind comes easily. For others, it's more of a struggle. Luckily, wherever you may be on the self-esteem spectrum, you can work on improving your vision, support, compassion, and love to yourself. After all, the relationship you have with yourself may ultimately be the one that matters most. It gives you the resiliency, confidence, kindness, motivation, and love that informs the rest of your life and helps you be the best person you can be. You might also want to consider reaching out to a therapist to help you learn the skills needed to build your self-esteem. That's all for me. Thank you.